Kia ora te whānau, it's Jackie here. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Jackie Kutia. I am 30 years old, a mum, a wife, a small business owner, and I live in Rotorua, New Zealand. This is a very exciting video, well I think it is anyway, but this is my first budget reset that I will be going through with you guys. I will be breaking down all the numbers from the previous month for both our personal budget as well as our small business budget. I'll also be showing you guys how I set up my goals for the month and how I like that all listed out. And then we will be going into resetting for February, which is the current month we're in, and setting up our budget for this month. I'm very nervous to share this with you guys, but I'm also equally excited because, yeah, the whole reason I'm doing this is to really go under the hood, I guess, on what the numbers look like for a small whānau here in New Zealand, and to also have a space that we can share, we can learn. I must say there will be a lot of yapping in this video, so sorry about that, but let's jump straight into it. Cool, hopefully the technology is working because I recorded this entire video just before and it didn't, so we'll see how we go. What you're seeing on the screen here is my budget spreadsheet for our personal budget. This is by a business called CoPlenty, and this is the 2.0 spreadsheet. I'll quickly run through it with you guys because I've not done that in depth, and I will in future videos do a bit more of a breakdown, but I'll give you a quick overview while I'm going through it so you know what I'm doing. As I mentioned, this is for our personal budget. So you've got your different tabs down the bottom. The first one is basically instruction page. We then have our down there. We then have our annual dashboard. So this page I'm going to be really excited about tracking as we progress through the different months. But as you can see, we just have our income and expenses for the month of January because that's all I've inputted so far. Annual total is pretty much broken down again into your income, bills, subscriptions, expenses, savings, and debt, which we'll run through the actual numbers shortly. And then this is pretty much the nitty-gritty of what we're going to be going through today. Sorry if you can hear my water cooler in the background and the motorbikes. Yeah, it's very noisy around home at the moment. Basically, this is the main spreadsheet that you will be using for the entirety of the month. So we will be recapping January in this video. And they've made it super handy and actually have the financial overview at the top here. So to break down the numbers, the total income for the month of January for only my salary and miscellaneous was $6,512.16. So I'm reading the actual total here. The bills for the month was $1,214.12. Subscriptions was $116.57. Expenses $1,819.48. Nothing saved, and our debt was $2,320. So I'll break through each of those numbers, but this financial overview is really handy for just tracking all of those totals. One thing to preface is I am still very much learning how to use the spreadsheet and Excel in general. If you use the spreadsheet and things look wrong, like, I'm sorry about that, I am still learning. I'm not a big Excel girly, but what I love about the spreadsheet is that everything is done automatically for you. So all you need to do is input your numbers and the spreadsheet will do calculations and formulas and totals and everything for you, which I really love, especially because I don't know how to do any of that. If you are interested in checking out the spreadsheet, I do have a code. So if you just click the link in the description down below, I think my actual code is Jackie10. So yeah, make sure to check that out, and happy for you to leave any questions in the comments and I will do my best to go through those and answer to the best of my ability. So in terms of a quick overview, I'll go through each of the sections that I just spoke about and how to sort of do it. So for income, self-explanatory, is just the income you receive for that month. So how I've laid this out is that I've got 1, 2, and 3 paychecks for my actual salary as an event manager. Some months it's 2 paychecks and some months it's 3. It just depends on how the days work and the days that I get paid. And then all you do is you input the actual. So that's the day that you got paid, how much you expect. So that's what we'll be filling out when we do our restart for February. And then how much you actually got paid. So there was a little bit of a drop there for me. And then the other income is our business income. So I do have a separate business spreadsheet, which I'll go through after this one. But for this line item, it's basically any money that we will be transferring from our business account to our personal account, which we will then use to pay for savings or whatever we want to do with that. I still need to have a chat to our bookkeeper on what that actually looks like and tax and all that sort of thing. So we actually don't officially pay ourselves in the business. We just use the business to pay for certain things such as internet and phone, which you can see here. So hopefully that makes sense. YouTube AdSense, we didn't get paid anything for YouTube this month because you do need to meet a minimum payment threshold. And for us, it's $130. So that basically just accumulates until you receive that payment. And if you don't hit it, then it rolls over to the following month. So I'm expecting, check it out actually before I talk out of my ass. So I'm just going into YouTube. Yep. So if you can see here, we have currently $106.77. So I'm assuming that we're going to meet that payment threshold in the month of February, which is the month we're in now. So we should get a payment around the 25th, 27th, either of this month, or next month. Yeah, I can't quite remember how it works, but that's that. And then miscellaneous is just anything else random that we get paid for, like affiliate links or anything like that. We are receiving a bit of money, a bit of putia from a family member. So that's just what that $100 is. And then you can see the totals there. So this is the expected column and the actual, and then the difference. So yeah, it was $143 less than what I budgeted for, which is all good. Under bills has our council rates, electricity, car and contents insurance, life insurance, medical, our water filter, internet's paid by our business, and our phones paid by our business. And then all you pretty much have to do is put in all of the totals of what that is per month in this budget line item. And then the actual column will be filled out when you do the transaction tracker down here. So if we go as an example, we've got council rates. So if I go down to council rates here, so on Jan the 29th, we paid $360 into council rates. Do a little note there, and then that total automatically populates into here. So you don't actually have to fill this column out. Total bills, $1,214.12. For subscriptions, we currently have Spotify, Apple, that's to have like more phone space, Crunchyroll for hubby's anime, Uber Eats subscription for premium, which I'm going to cancel. So I'm going to remove that out of my spreadsheet next month. Linktree, and then CapCut, what I use to edit. So that's that, $116.57. Now, this is the part that I have no idea how to budget because I've never budgeted this before. It's all new to me. But our expenses, which is definitely the highest thing that we spend our money on. So if I can look at the things that we actually use, so we have groceries, our daughter, coffee, takeaways, entertainment, consumables, which is going up to the shop and grabbing a V or something. We've got eating out, and then miscellaneous. So because I didn't budget for that, because I had no idea what it works out to for the following month, I will use these actual totals as like a bit of a guide, I guess, to help me budget for the following month. So this expenses part's definitely going to be a work in progress. I would eventually, once we get to a position where we can, would like to budget something for each of these columns, but for right now, we're just going to focus on sort of the necessities or things that we're actually spending our money on. That's what it's currently looking like anyway, or what we did for the month of Jan, which was $1,809.48. Our next sections is saving. So we've got, these are pretty much like our wish items or our goals for what we want to save, which I'll run through after this. But we've got our emergency fund, travel fund, reno fund, ETFs is like sharesies or investing, rainy day fund, our business account, savings, car expenses, and Te Marangai. So we want to do like a separate fund for her. We don't have anything saved, or I've not put anything aside for any of those for the month of Jan. Basically, I would say that we're in a bit of a financial spring at the moment, where we're currently surviving on one part-time income, which is my everyday job, my event manager job. I'm not on full-time hours at the moment, I'm just on part-time. But hubby, oh, and sorry, with that, that pretty much covers, thank God, that covers all of our base bills, like our mortgage, our groceries, all of our insurances, our power, all that sort of stuff, with like maybe $100 to spare. So at the moment, we aren't really in a financial position to be putting money aside for like our emergency fund. That's definitely something that we want to aim towards, but I still want to have it in here to have that goal. But I guess to give you guys a bit of an insight, we're pretty much just like surviving, not thriving at the moment. But that's all good because we've got a roof over our heads, and you know, food in our cupboards and everything. And we're in such a privileged position where we're at, but we definitely have goals and ambitions for wanting to be able to budget for all of these other additional things to have that financial security, etc. Lastly, have our debt, which is our mortgage. We would love to do extra payments towards our mortgage, and then our farmer's Q card, which came to a total of $2,320 for the month of January. Hopefully that all makes sense. You've got some handy little graphs down here that shows you when did I spend my money, so big like spending days. You also have this cool pie graph which shows you where most of your money goes and categorizes to the different things. Transaction tracker down to the left. This is where you will manually go in and put in all your transactions for the month. This, I would say, is the most time consuming part, because you do have to manually like look at your bank statement and put it in. A little bit annoying to start off with, but once you get into the swing of it, it just literally takes 5 minutes a day to do. So I'll show you guys a couple of examples on how to use this. So basically you just click into this first column, select the date of the transaction. So for example, on the 20th, just ran out of breath there. On the 20th, you bought something for $101.70, and that happened to be takeaways. You just put that there. And then I just like to put in a note on what the takeaways was so I can just see what I was up to, else I'll forget. Do another one. Jan, you bought on the 22nd, $35, and you paid your CapCut subscription. There we go, that auto populates. And then another example, 24th, you spent $800 on some money on your mortgage, frickin' mortgage. And then there we go. So that's literally how simple it is. Just takes a couple of minutes to do it. And then when you add in all of this, then it will automatically update your line item. So if I go to mortgage, that's been automatically updated, the actual line item. Same with CapCut and takeaways. So that's what I specifically love about the spreadsheet, is that everything automatically updates, and I just find that really helpful for someone like me who's an absolute numpty and doesn't know how to use Excel. E te whānau, that's pretty much what our figures look like for our personal spending for the month of January. Quickly go to our business spreadsheet. They're pretty much the same spreadsheet, and what's really cool about CoPlenty as well is that you can essentially purchase it once and then you can use this over and over again and just personalize it. So I went to my Gmail that I received the spreadsheet from, I downloaded it again, and then I just adapted it to Te Kōtiri, and I will pretty much be doing this in the future for other years. So for example, 2027 rolls around, I'll go back to my original email from CoPlenty, re-download the spreadsheet, and then I've got a fresh spreadsheet that I can use every year. And I think what's really cool about using the same template is that you can obviously have the same sort of like formulas that you're using, and then you can compare one year to the previous year because you're doing the same sort of system. So that is my big imaginary goal anyway. And something that me and hubby are super committed to doing. So just a little bit of a FYI on the spreadsheet side of things. Our January totals for the business, and yes, you can see there's a negative 3,000 there, so let's break that down. For the financial overview, we have total income, so this is for all Shopify sales, everything that went through our website, $3,840.62. Our bills came to $1,313.58. Subscriptions $432.41. Our expenses, which we did not budget anything for, was $2,517, and then we've also got debt of $2,741. Gain income, Shopify sales. For bills, we've got internet, phone, which I mentioned, NZ Post, parcels that we send to our customers when they purchase on our website. DHL International is for Australian customers. New Zealand tolls, that's when we're traveling. Pack and send is for sending bulk orders. Subscriptions and memberships, we've just got so much in here, so I'm definitely going to go through and cull some of this and things that I'm not using, or if I've not used something in a month, then I'm going to get rid of it. But we've got Xero, which is what our accounting software is. Shopify, Adobe Lightroom is what I use to edit all of my photos. I think that's only, yeah, $14.49, not $55. Oh. And then what you can also do is you can tick off the ones that have been paid for the month, just so that you can see that that's all been budgeted for, paid for. Expenses, so this is the biggie, the one that we really need to focus on with our business. So we've got gas, which is for the car, which is a business vehicle, car maintenance, travel. We booked some flights to Queenstown, which is really exciting, and I'll talk about in a future video. Food and drink, $302. Personal spend, $966.33. This I take full ownership for, that I use our business debit card on stupid shit like 3 dresses I bought at Cotton On for New Year's. Business general expenses, that's for getting like top-ups of like Vistaprint and things that we needed for our Waitangi Day store, all that sort of stuff. Business savings, nothing in there. The Heart, so that is our business vehicle, which is called the Heart, and because we got a significant amount of Shopify sales, I wanted to put a big chunk of that into a separate account, which our automatic payments come out for our vehicle, which is around $450 something a fortnight. So yeah, that's just a little bit of security, I guess, that if, for example, I looked in the main bank account and saw that there was over $3,000, then it might make me go and personally buy things that I don't need, like stuff from Kmart or stuff for the house or whatever. So yeah, just transferring that bulk amount into a separate account just gives me certainty that over the next 1.5 or 2 months, our biggest expense or our biggest bill for our business is accounted for. Okay. Man, that was a lot of chatting. So, e te whānau, that is pretty much what our numbers are looking like for the month of January. If we go into, so down below, we've got the savings and debt tracker. So this is really handy for actually breaking down what your goals are. As you can see, we've got some very, very ambitious goals of what we want to do this year. 20k in the emergency fund, 2,500 in the travel fund, 30,000 in our reno fund, ETFs 10k, and 40k extra payments on our mortgage. Yeah, that's in a bit of a dream world, to be honest, but we definitely have some goals that we want to hit, and we're going to do what we can to do it. And I'm hoping by doing this more frequently and really looking at our numbers and doing more mahi and getting on that grind, that's going to be able to, yeah, give us the fuel to try and reach some of those numbers. This one here, Farmers Q card, is actually our debt. So that's $9,038.23. So that's how much our current balance is in terms of what we need to pay back. What we will do actually before I move to the goals and habit tracker is set up for the month of February as best as I can. As you can see above, we've got the left to spend, which is rolled over from the month of January. So that automatically updates. I've put in my expected salary, 2 paychecks for this month. I will put in how much we will expect from YouTube, which would be, I'm guessing, 130. And that usually gets paid on like the 27th. What's really exciting too, Iti whānau, is I received my very first affiliate link payment for being an ambassador for a beautiful brand called Rerehua Boutique, which is so exciting. So I'm gonna bring up my bank account because I can't remember how much the total was. But yeah, this is actually really exciting for me because it goes to show that having affiliate links actually can bring in some money, which is really cool, and especially aligning with brands that I personally do love and do use. So Rerehua create beautiful jewelry, and like the ones I'm wearing here, they do bags, they do dresses, skirts and jackets and everything. Just such a beautiful brand. They are Māori as well, so I love supporting Pakehi Māori. So this was technically mahi that I did last month, but because it's come into my bank account on the month of Feb, this is where I'm going to input that money. But I got paid that yesterday, which was the 2nd of Feb, and I got $205.59. Oh, that makes me so happy. Honestly, that is just freaking amazing. So I got 10% of the sales that were made using my code, Jackie. If you guys want to shop at Rerehua, put that link below. Then because I was the #1 ambassador, so the person that made the most sales for the month of Jan, I also got a bonus of $150. Oh my god, it gives me butterflies just thinking about it. So yeah, that is a huge milestone and something I'm super proud of. So just wanted to share that with you guys in this little reset for February. And now what we're pretty much going to do is just budget for our other line items. So I'm going to go back to the month of Jan and just copy and paste these because all of the bills should pretty much be the same. The subscription should be the same as well. Those shouldn't change. Just going to do all the big ones first. 250 is our money is for our Q card. I'm not going to do anything for any of those. Maybe I'll just leave those at, yeah. Just do those all at 0 because we won't have the putia to do that. And then groceries. So we're going to aim to do about 200 a week. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So maybe I'll do that at 900 because that was pretty similar to what we spent. And because I know how much money we spent on coffees and takeaways and stuff, I'm definitely not going to budget that amount because that's just ridiculous. $100 for takeaways. I might do this separately and then maybe update it, because I need to actually sit down and think about all of this and go through it with hubby. But this is pretty much the main thing that you want to do in your monthly reset for the current month that you're in, is to go through, see how much income you're receiving, what are all your major bills, debt, all that sort of stuff, and then how much you have left over, and that's what is then budgeted for your expenses. So I'm going to do that separately, and maybe I'll do another follow-up video just to run through that with you guys. And then last but not least, I just wanted to quickly show you guys this other spreadsheet from CoPlenty called the Goal and Habit Tracker. So this is something that I'm really a data girly. I love seeing everything all laid out, and I love having a bit of a to-do list and sort of mapping out my goals and then having reflections at the end of the month to see if I hit those goals or not. So because I got this sort of last week or something, I haven't really thought it out properly. But the daily habits that I'm trying to do is a hot mum walk, so going for one walk every day. It could be just a grocery shopping, it could be a 3K run, it's just some sort of movement outside. Drink at least 2 bottles of water every day. Transaction tracker, so going through and updating my transaction tracker every day. I want to incorporate no spend days, so that's days where I'm literally spending no money at home. Sorry, those are days that I'm spending no money on anything, not getting a coffee, not doing anything like that. And then I've got goals around posting frequently on Instagram and TikTok, YouTube shorts, and then doing long form videos like what I'm doing now. Weekly goals as well. So because again, I just got this like last week, I haven't really thought about it, but I've put in the hot mum walk and then meal planning for the week ahead. So I think we should go through and add in a couple for February, since we're in the Feb reset. So I'm just going to go through and copy in all of those ones, because those all make sense to me. Goals, so we've got week 1. What are some goals that I can do? I should have thought about this before I came on. So I want to do my hot mum walk, because I've pretty much got 100 days that I want to do. 2 bottles of water. I think that's really good to do every day. Just one real one. Oh, and then that will be for YouTube shorts as well. Maybe also commit to doing one no spend day. Yeah, guys, I think that's it. That was a lot of talking, but thank you guys if you made it this far for sticking to the end. I appreciate you guys so much. I am very interested. If you've got any comments, please let me know in the comment box below. Was there anything that you found interesting? Do you have any questions on the CoPlenty spreadsheet, learnings or key takeaways that you have from this video? Then please let me know. I really want this to be a community space and an opportunity for us to share and to learn from one another. I like to say that I'm not a gatekeeper. So yeah, any info that you guys would find helpful or anything you want to know, please let me know. Okay, so excited to have my first budget reset, budget reflection video done. And I'm really excited to continue doing these videos every month and to be learning with you guys and to hopefully see the progress towards our big, scary, hairy goals that we have. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Ka kite!